When we think of drug dealers, our minds tend to imagine the street dealer covertly handing off dime bags to whoever slips them cash with a subtle handshake, or we imagine ruthless cartel leaders of foreign countries setting up elaborate smuggling operations on the backs of coerced workers. The Cocaine Cowboys, the Kings of Miami documentary on Netflix gives us a look into the life of a different type of drug dealer, the high-spending, lavishly living cocaine cowboys of 80s Miami. The two most notorious cocaine cowboys of the era were Augusto Willy Falcone and Salvador Sal Magluta. These were just a couple of pals who got together to produce one of the most lucrative drug empires of the United States by smuggling cocaine into South Florida and slinging it to whatever mysterious buyers could afford so much product. The pair were notorious not only for their work and their riches, but for the closeness of their bond and the way they conducted themselves. They were truly partners in crime. They say it's usually best to separate business and pleasure. The rule is meant to keep personal lives apart from business dealing because in the pursuit of riches, people tend to get hurt along the way and no one wants to hurt their friends. So many business friendships start and end in the boardroom or on the golf course. This wasn't true for Willy Falcone and Sal Magluta. In fact, their friendship is likely a factor in what made them rich. According to the Miami New Times, the pair of cocaine emperors had been friends since they were young, attending Miami Senior High School and subsequently dropping out together, after which they turned to their burgeoning drug business. It's just proof that making it to the top in your field doesn't necessarily take a fancy education. After high school, young Sal Magluta and Willy Falcone turned to the drug scene, and it wouldn't take too long for these guys to make a big name for themselves. According to Collider, the pair became known around town as Los Muchachos, meaning the boys in English, for two reasons. Presumably, the first is due to the fact that they were always together, and the second because they were viewed in the community as a couple of Robin Hood-type figures. They were an inseparable force that smuggled in drugs and spread their wealth across their city.
Miami considered them local heroes because they were like the Robin Hoods. They always shared their wealth.
The two, along with Willy's brother Tabby Falcone, were pros at mixing pleasure and business. Along with their drug dealings, they raced powerboats as part of a team they owned, which, like New York Daily News points out, was a common practice among Miami drug dealers. It's one of the many ways the cocaine cowboys of the 80s smuggled in their products, plus it gave the friends a fun thing to do on the weekend. By the end of their run, Willy and Sal were living like drug dealer playboys. According to the Miami New Times, it's believed that throughout their career, they'd accrued more than $2 billion in cash and assets. If you ever find yourself in legal trouble, the first rule of getting out of a legal bind, whether or not you committed a crime, is to keep your mouth shut. Anything you say will most definitely be used against you in a court of law. Willy Falcone and Sal Magluta knew how to keep their mouths shut to protect each other. According to criminal defense lawyer, one of the more popular techniques used by interrogators involves lying to a suspect and telling them that their buddy in the other cell squealed on them or has already confessed. This in turn leads many suspects to throw themselves or their accomplices under the bus in hopes of getting leniency in court. There's a good chance the cocaine cowboys underwent this type of interrogation after they were arrested on charges of smuggling 75 tons of cocaine. The case dragged on for 5 years, but Willy and Sal weren't talking, and the court had no choice but to acquit them of the charges in 1996. It probably doesn't hurt that the pair allegedly paid off witnesses and at least one jury member either. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about remarkable figures from history are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.